Okay, so Manhands and Meatloaf. Actually, I guess I don't know between myself and Mike if one of us is actually Manhands and one is Meatloaf or not. Like how Hootie and the Blowfish used to be like. People thought Darius Rucker was Hootie. All that to say that Mike's not here at the table with us. In fact, tonight it's just me and our producer, who also doubles as my son, Jonah. We wanted to sort of provide a wee bit of explanation for what I believe we're going to call Manhands and Meatloaf, the lost episode. We were at the table, was it last night?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, we were at the table last night with Mike, and the table is in my domicile. So Mike came over and we were recording, and we recorded one full episode, which would have been episode the 10th, and it was lovely. We covered a lot of different topics. We chewed some Irish gum, which was harrowing, to say the least. And we talked about March Madness, the fact that UK did not make the final, or did not make the NCAA tournament. Sorry, Kentucky fans. And then we found our way, I believe, to the topic of the ordination of women to ministry, whether it be to the priesthood or to the pastorate or bishopric, as it were, for different denominations. I think that's where did we talk about anything else?
I think that's about it.
I feel like there was a word association. Oh, there was a word association in there as well.
Kettle corn?
No, that was the second one.
That was the second
which
word
I
association.
think people are going to hit. Spoiler alert.
Oh,
you might
whoops.
actually get to hear that. Our
Sorry
producer is determined to ruin every. No, I'm just kidding. Back to the timeline. So we finished that episode, and Jonah, what happened then?
Everything just, all my worst nightmares happened in the 3 seconds when I clicked stop recording. Nothing showed up.
This is the first time.
This was the first time.
Right.
Where there should have been waveforms.
Now, let me interrupt you.
Not.
Are we recording now?
I hope so.
We're never going to record another podcast ever again. Okay, so that was the first time, and I could see the horror cross your face, and it was like, oh my goodness. And then, but it was all fine, no worries. Mike and I joked about God closing the door and opening a window, etc. You then came up with a solution, right? A workaround, people would call it?
I did. I had a workaround to use another way of recording in my recording software that I have.
Nice. Oh, well done. Yeah, I didn't want to mention the software because I don't know about product placement. Because this is the first time, we were just talking about this. This is the first time we're using this software with 2 microphones.
Yes.
Right, because we've done it once before when we did, I think it was episode 4B, the musical one, with the Hangout. We had one input line.
Yes.
Is that right? And that worked okay. This time we're using 2 microphones, which improves sound quality a bit.
By quite a bit.
Quite a bit. Yeah, it's exponential. But it was our first run with that, so we had some trouble. So that's episode 10, version 1. No big deal. We had some time, so we set about recording another episode, right?
Yes.
And this episode, we again tried some more Irish gum, a different flavor. It was still just as off-putting as the first. No offense, people of Ireland, but your gum is ridiculous. And then we talked a little bit more. We did not revisit topics from the first attempt at the episode. We talked about introversion for quite a bit. The fact that Mike and I both tend to be introverted and why we think that. We may revisit that sometime down the road. And the part that you're going to hear after this introduction, because actually, well, you explain what happened, because something recorded.
Well, yes. I mean, the workaround that I had only worked for the last 5 minutes
Right.
of the podcast, so
Right.
that's what you're going to hear.
Not the world's best workaround, but not a complete and utter failure. So so you're going to hear in a moment or two is about 5 minutes of a conversation Mike and I were having about our youth group, our respective youth groups, as teenagers, early teenagers, and I guess into before we went to college. And it's a really good conversation. I hate that you don't get to hear more of it, but all things happen for a reason, don't they? We'll go with that, right?
Yes, that will be our kind answer.
All that happened last night was part of God's great plan. You're going to pick up the conversation I'm talking about a time in my youth group when I believe I would have been in middle school or maybe early high school, so 8th or ninth grade. And my youth pastor played an audio tape. That's right, an audio cassette tape of an individual who had, in this individual's words, been taken to hell to see what hell was like. And I was telling Mike that our youth pastor literally, and I'm sure if you're out there and you grew up in the church, you heard this. Our youth pastor said to us, "I want tonight to scare the hell out of you." And I think for some people it did. It didn't have that effect on me. So that's where you'll pick up the conversation. Hopefully our technical difficulties for the moment are resolved. However, I'm sure as we go, we'll hit more things, right? Technology always wins sometimes.
Yeah.
But we're going to give it a go, and then we'll be back hopefully next week with some more episodes. Joe, thanks for joining me at the table. It's kind of fun, huh?
Yeah, it is.
Do you like this, or do you prefer just the producer bit?
Well, as you can see, I can do both, but...
That's right. Yes, multi-talented. I like it. So we're going to sign off here. We'll have Mike back at the table soon, real soon. Be sure, if you are so inclined, to follow us on Twitter at Manhands Podcast. Visit our Facebook page, facebook.com, Manhands Meatloaf. And I would ask you ever so gently, if you enjoy what you hear, share it with a friend. We'd love to talk to more folks, if the good Lord is willing. My name's Stephen. That's our producer and my son, Jonah. And for Mike, let me say, take care.
He may not be so willing, judging by our last 2 episodes.
Please, Lord, bless our efforts. Experience that night, I didn't have a sort of a whatever effect on me, but I remember vividly that was the goal. The goal was to be so shocking, shaking, whatever, that folks would rush to the altar.
Was it eerily similar to Dante's Inferno?
I don't even remember. There were worms. I'm sure there were worms. Yeah. I remember worms, and people could never satisfy their thirst, which I thought, oh, that's interesting. You don't have to go to hell, and that might be. But anyway, that's a whole. Even then, my cynicism was in. At least in partial bloom. Yeah. That's funny though, isn't it?
I had a similar one in high school. It was an end times preacher who claimed he knew when the rapture was going to happen.
Spoiler alert.
And Jesus was going to come back.
Right?
He knew.
Yeah.
Right. And not only that, he could name the Antichrist, who he said it was Henry Kissinger.
No.
That really dates me, doesn't it? Except that was even before my time.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, totally. Yeah,
early 90s.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Kissinger was already no longer a player.
Yeah, he's fine. He's not.
Yes, this guy was working on old material.
The Antichrist is not going to be nearsighted. I'm just kidding.
An old Jewish man. Yeah. So at one point he says, Jesus is coming back. Are you ready? Do you want to know? Do you want to know? He's coming back tonight.
He did not.
Yeah. Oh, and then opened the altars, and like scores of
Did they really go down?
Wow.
Wow.
Went running, crying. Sure. And that was when the cynicism button was first clicked for me.
Really?
And I sat there and I said, this isn't, something's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I totally get it.
Yeah, anyway.
So I love that. Wow. So I heard this quote. We'll stop after this, and I think you have a word association for me.
Oh, I got it, yeah.
I was listening to, and I don't want to rabbit trail too far. I'm not saying, I'm not going to unpack it tonight, but I heard a quote by Anne Lamott this week, and it really caught my, you know who Anne Lamott is? She's an author.
No.
Okay, fine, Anne Lamott. She said the opposite of faith is not doubt. It's certainty.
I've heard this.
Have you heard that?
I've heard that quote, yeah.
I don't know who said it, but it stopped me in my tracks. And we can put a pin in it. I don't know if we'll ever get back to it. But what she's getting at, I think, if nothing else, speaks to this place I'm in my life where I'm reviewing things that I've been told. You know what I mean to say?
Yeah.
I know that might raise some hackles amongst absolute truth people. I'm not saying that, Mary wasn't a virgin, all that stuff. I'm just saying, like, I'm not.
Do you have to go there? I mean, is that where this goes?
I'm just saying that that really caught my attention. So,
well, I mean, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things
not seen.
Not
sure.
seen, not right. So I mean, I think that's probably what those are similar ideas. I think.
Yeah, they are.
Off of that.
All right, let's do this word association. Now, I had one for you. Oh yeah, we can't redo it. It was an inside joke.
Word association.
Word association. Hit
Listen,
me.
Breathe in, move on. That's what you got to do.
How many words?
Okay. Well, it depends on how you spell it. It's either one word, or it's 2 words, or a hyphenated word.
Okay.
Which one would you like?
I want the hyphenated one.
Okay. It's the same word. Ready?
Yeah, I'm gonna close my eyes. I'm ready.
Word association. Tell me the first thing
Comes to mind.
that comes to mind,
Okay.
and then if you need to unpack it, you
I don't
can.
trust myself to just say. I always let it sit for a second because I don't know what I'm gonna say.
You're afraid. Aren't
I
you?
am afraid because I'll just
You don't
say
trust
anything.
yourself.
No, I don't trust myself.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
The word is
Yeah.
kettle corn.
I used to think it was gross.
Really?
Yeah. I didn't like it. I don't like the idea of sweet and salty. It's weird to me. Yeah.
Man.
No, I didn't like because I think the first kettle corn I ever had was my first memory of kettle corn is actually being made in a kettle.
Oh yeah.
I grew up
The
in
real
I grew up
thing?
in Orlando, a lot of touristy places. They were making this big brass.
Oh, yeah.
whatever. When I first tried it was Orville Redenbacher. And
Orville Redenbacher was there making kettle corn.
well, no, I tried his version.
Because that would have been awesome. Like Orville himself,
No.
bow tied and all.
I tried his version of kettle corn. I did not like it. However, there's this kettle corn made by this company that's in like Popcorn, Indiana. Is that right? Joe, is that right? Anyway, and I love it.
Yeah.
Sweet and salty. It's really good. I could eat a whole bag. You don't even know you're eating.
Oh, it's good. Last time I had kettle corn, Chattanooga Market. Downtown Chattanooga.
Oh,
on the
wow.
weekends.
Okay, yeah.
There's a guy that's got the big kettle down there, swirling it around. Oh, it's good because you're getting it right then.
Yeah, that would be good. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that would be really good. I don't know.
that's good stuff.
Oh, it's got to be perfectly balanced, which is, I guess, a metaphor for life, right? The sweet and the salty,
Look at
right?
that. That's what kettle corn is.
That's a nice tie-in, isn't it?
A metaphor
Yeah,
for life.
look at us. So listen, folks, we'd love for you to visit us on Twitter. Follow us if you're so inclined at Manhands Podcast. You can check us out on Facebook, facebook.com, Manhands and Meatloaf. From there, you can find our YouTube and SoundCloud. Shoot us a message. Tell us what you want us to talk about. If we agree, we will. If we don't, then we won't. I'm Steven. He's Mike. Please, Jesus, let it record. Talk to you later.